tap in with y'all real quick. I want to tell y'all today, man, is one income is too close to none.
Right onto Maple Road.
Just think about it, man. Like, imagine your boss fired you today. What would you know, what position would you be in? Would you be able to feed your family? Would you be able to take care of everything you need to take care of? You know, some people look at it like they got a good job and they secure.
2 miles, turn left onto Niagara Falls.
You know, think about it in the future. If your job was able to be done by, let's just say, robots, because that's where the world is going. And then now you pointless to your job, and then they let you go. Now you can't feed your family just because you relied on solely that one income. You got to expand your horizon, expand your mind, to put your mind in different places at one time without you having to be there. You know, throughout our whole life, we taught to focus on more than one thing until we get out in the real world. For example, when we're in grammar school, we study multiple subjects. We get to high school and do the same thing, even eventually on to college. But the moment you get in the real world, they want you to focus on one thing and solely that one thing and become a master at that one thing. Not telling you that if that one thing was to somehow up and leave, then you won't have nothing to do, you know, period, with your life, you know, moving forward, because you done solely focused on that one thing and you have yet to look into any other craft or any other ways to feed your family because you solely relied on that one thing. Let's just use an example. Say, for instance, you and your family only eat fish. For whatever reason, every fish in the sea is, let's just say, gone. You never learned how to hunt any other species. So now you and your family are starving because you solely relied on that one source of protein. You know, you got to look at every single year that you let go by and you're not executing on everything that you need to execute on and fulfilling your destiny overall. How much is life robbing you? You know, every single year, that's a year taken away from you could have been making or fulfilling that destiny that you in your mind set out to do. You got to be determined. You got to spread your mind. You got to expand your mind. You know, now, you know, obtain all that knowledge, apply that knowledge. Because knowledge is simply only power when it is applied. You got to apply everything. You know, plenty of people, they see opportunities as scams. And the acronym for scam is, you know, still confused about money. Because a lot of people, everything is a scam. Everything, people is not doing this or they not doing that. And clearly it's some sort of result if you see more than one people doing it and they living that lifestyle that you claim you want to live, but you still call it a scam because simply you still confused about the money. You know, it's tons of ways to create streams of income with OPM, other people's money. You got to tap in. You got to understand and, you know, really see what's going on around here. You know, we coming in a point in time where our culture is starting to be awakening to stuff that these other communities been doing for quite some time. You know, I feel like we just started to come into realization and understanding as a community itself what an asset and a liability is. And if you don't know what an asset or a liability is, an asset is something that could pay you, a liability is something that take away from you. As simple as that. So when you're going to buy clothes, shoes, food, you know, things of that nature, you going out, you drinking, you smoking, those are all liabilities. But the moment you invest in real estate, a stock, you know, invest in a business, invest in a product, those are all assets because that asset will eventually pay you over time if everything is aligned the right way. Because it still comes back to a knowledge standpoint and understand what exactly is you investing in. You really got to understand, man. Understand the difference and understand how other people are moving out here to get to the heights that they trying to get to. You can't stop moving. Like right now, I'm not looking at simply one stream of income. Yeah, the ultimate goal is to own X amount of real estate, and that is on the way. But in that meantime, I still invest in companies. I still invest in stock. And I don't just invest, you know, randomly. I do my research. I do my study. A lot of you know more than stock. You know a lot more about stocks than you may think you know. You look at yourself right now, look around, I guarantee you see at least 5 of the biggest companies on you. Whether you're wearing Nikes or Jordan on your shoes, that's a company. Whether you got an iPhone in your hand, that's Apple, that's a company. You know, you riding in a car, whether it's a Ford, whether it's a Chevy, that's a company. You sip Hennessy, you drink Moet, that's LVMH, and rock Louis Vuitton, that's a company. In which his name is Bernard, and recently just became the richest man in the world after last year only being 6th. So he jumped from the 6th richest man in the world to the number 1 richest man in the world, solely based off our people simply investing more in liabilities over assets. They'd rather look like they getting money as opposed to actually getting money. I guarantee you 8 out of 10 people that wear Louis Vuitton don't even know what LVMH is. They're not even invested in that company. But yet you spent more on you spent more money on looking like the company opposed to even buying the stock. I'm not sure as of right now exactly off the top of my head how much their stock price costs, but I'm sure it's not $1,000. Majority of anything you buy from Louis Vuitton or any of those places, whether you only getting unless you only getting a little wallet or something just to make it look like you get into it, but majority of things, whether it's the shoes, whether it's the belts, whether it's the, a t-shirt, whatever, it's going to run you at least $1,000. So why not invest in the company and get paid over time opposed to wearing something that's designer, in which the way our culture is so fucked up mentally that we only gonna wear it one time because everybody got it like that, but in our reality everybody fucked up. It's a facade, it's an image that's really tainting our society and tainting our culture as a whole to make it look like we got money, and ultimately we'll never get it because we solely focused on making unlogical investments. Not even investments, investing in, looking into and purchasing unreliable fucking, man, it's crazy, man. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up completely. Everybody around me I try to awaken, but at the same time, can't awaken everybody. Can't keep investing in unreliable, liabilities. You got to tap in. Nike, I'm sure everybody, whether you or somebody around you, have bought Jordans before, especially with the market right now with how sneakers is being sold. You can't even get a little kid shoes no more for under, whatever, $200. Nike stock is only about $150. Before the pandemic, it was dropped down to $86. Come on, invest. Why not invest in something that's really going to pay you over time? Plenty of opportunity out here. We live in a new world. We live in a new age. It's a lot going on. Any and everybody could become a millionaire overnight. You got kids dancing on TikTok, kids recording YouTube, making $20 million a year. The opportunity out here is endless. You got to understand the power of true assets. Airbnb is the biggest hotel chain in the world right now. They don't own a home. Turo's the biggest rental car company in the world right now. They don't own any cars. That's why you simply got to understand the power of really what's going on right now. Money could literally be printed out of thin air if you apply. You apply, take in the knowledge, and perform and execute on the knowledge. Netflix is the biggest movie, TV show subscription company in the world. And Netflix, just probably start coming out with their own movies within the past 2 years or so. Other than that, they just using other people's shows, other people's movies, and making y'all pay for them. And y'all making that family rich. You gotta understand, a lot of people is more into making these other people's last names valuable than making their own last name valuable. It's unbelievable. You would rather wear Jordans opposed to whatever your last name is, because it's not cool. It's not the cool thing to do. That's why, a lot of people is in the position that they're in because they follow the masses. And one thing I grew to realize is, in order to get to the heights that I'm looking for, all I got to do is do everything that everybody else isn't doing. Simple. It's that simple. It's as simple as you make it. You got to be ready and willing to tap into any aspect of life that you need to tap into. This mindset I have today, I didn't always have it. I would be honest, within myself, I always knew I was going to win, but I didn't know how. There was a point in time where I thought, being out in the street was going to get me to where I wanted to go. Then there was a point in time I felt like, okay, maybe if I go to college and become, in my case, what I wanted to be was an engineer, this was going to get me to where I need to go. So I used to calculate the numbers in my head solely based on $1 million. How long would it take me to get to my ultimate goal? My first goal, that is. And none of it made sense to me. I can't see myself giving my life giving my life to somebody else, 30, 40 years of my life to another man to fulfill his destiny and his kids' future, while I go slave for 8 to 16 hours and my kids get pennies on their plate. I don't feel like that's not logical to me. You got people that's making in a second what it took you to make in a month at your job, and that should affect you. That should be your light bulb. That should be your wake-up call. And if not, don't get me wrong, everybody is not meant to be a boss. Everybody is not meant to run anything. Everybody is not meant to have money. You have to have workers. The only reason why the world go around the way we see it is because they're our workers. Like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, some of the richest men on earth right now. If it wasn't for their workers, they wouldn't be in the position that they in. So you got to have workers. And some people take pride in their work, and it's completely nothing wrong with that. So if you are a worker, do the best at what you do. Whatever you do, give it your all. How you do anything is how you do everything. So by all means, do exactly what you need to do. But for the people that's looking to excel their life to a new height, actually be
At the next light, turn left.
the owner of their last name, the CEO of their own company, the CEO of their last name. That's what I'm talking to, man. Just tap in.
At the light, turn left.
Put your foot on the gas and don't let up. It's simply no days off. And the moment that you really let that sink in your mind, that is no days off, the moment you'll get to a different height. A lot of people go to work 4 or 5 days out the week. When the weekend come, they want to pop bottles. They want to sip. They want to smoke. They want to, do all these other things. Some even chill and do absolutely nothing. When in all reality, that's your opportunity to get out of that position that you are in. You got to look at that as solely as an opportunity. It's no days off. The moment you stop letting your work life revolve around your real life, the moment you'll exhale your life. You can't let that consume you. A lot of people, they going to sleep already thinking about their job tomorrow. In all reality, you letting time pass by. So mentally, you're not even at that job for only 8 hours. You there for almost 12, including the drive time, including the time in which you think about it, day in and day out. A lot of people start work on Monday. They're already thinking about it on Sunday. So you mentally already there. You're not even giving your mind the opportunity to breathe and learn new ideas because you're solely focused on that one thing. So that goes back to the fact, just open your mind. Be able to focus on more than one thing at one time. That's really what it comes down to. Open your mind up. Don't be solely relying on one thing, one person. If one thing don't fall through, boom, I got that. That's going to, put me in a different position. Right now, I'm pulling up to a house. I'm about to show one of my clients a home. And this is simply only one stream of my income. I'm not solely relying on this. But it's a great income. I'm in control of my time. I set this appointment right now around my time. I have time now. So this is when I'll come show them this house. Once you take control of your life that way, your life will start looking a little bit different for you. So right now, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm about to go in here. But what I want y'all to understand is that opening your mind could be the best thing that ever happened to your life. Could be the most powerful thing that ever happened to your life. Don't solely rely on one person. Don't solely rely on, simply one stream of income. The opportunity is endless. It's up to you.